Hey there, YouTube. I was up late getting some cards around. I'm preparing to send an order off to PSA to do a submission. I have a membership and it's getting towards the end. It's getting close to expiring and I haven't used it a whole lot, so I decided it was time I was going to take advantage of one of their member specials. Got a really good special for the month of January on cards that are 1955 and older, and so I decided, well, I would do a large submission with that. So it required a 50 card minimum submission, so you had to really dig deep to find a lot of things to send. And I talked to a couple other YouTubers and they were willing to send a couple cards along with it, so I could cut out a few cards that I just didn't quite think I wanted to grade. But anyway, I'm rambling on here, and I just thought I would do this video before I finish packaging these up to send them off, and just kind of show you what of my cards is going to be going off to PSA. And so these are all pre-1955 cards, and I'm starting here with some of the oldest here. This is a 1929 cash and premium of Urban Red Faber, and so just and then I've got a second one here that is another Hall of Famer, Heine Manouche. So I've got both of those. I don't anticipate either one of these grading too highly. They got some staining on the back, you can see here, from being in a scrapbook and then taking them out. There's no paper loss, but it's definitely caused discoloration, and I don't know how PSA is going to respond to that. And this one's got I don't think it's quite miscut, but it's definitely as badly off center as can be. So they could both come back ones, and I'm okay with it. I don't have a Red Faber card that's PSA graded, so I wanted to get one added to my registry from. So thought this was the opportunity to do it. The price point's good enough that, you know, whatever they come back, it's good for me, because they're old cards, they're fragile, they're just good things to get preserved and protected. And here is a 1934. This is a gold medal foods card of Frank Frisch, Hall of Famer as well. And that one I'm expecting maybe about a 3. Good solid grade on that one. The back's clean, so if it comes back a 3, I'll be plenty satisfied with that one. This one here is my fine pen. It's got Jimmie Foxx, Al Simmons, and Mickey Cochran. This one, boy, it could grade okay, possibly in that 2 to 3 range, but it's been written on the back, and that's going to hit it with that mark qualifier. So it's probably going to be in that 2 with the mark qualifier, which makes it the same as a 1. It's in there. And then got some more of these 1936 National Chakal premiums, the same as this one here. This one features Jim Bottomley right here. He's tagging Gilbert is the last name of the player. I don't recall his first name. But anyway, this is another one. This one's definitely got bad back damage, so it's going to end up a 1, but it's just getting all of these, getting them put into the registry. I don't have a bottom link card that is in my PSA registry either, so getting a 1 just in there, that's fine with me on these. It's from their playing days, so that's important to me. And this one here, 2 Hall of Famers, Gabby Hartnett and Kiki Kyler. And that one there, I'm really off center, but pretty decent shape. Possibly a 2 on that one. Maybe even, might possibly be higher. I don't see any significant creases, and this is kind of like a flaw right down here. It looks like paper loss, but it's actually just kind of a flaw with the negative on the photo, so I don't think that, but back's clean, so I think that one, there's a chance that's going to be 2 or higher. This one here, Hall of Famer Joe Cronin. It's another guy that I did not have a PSA registered card for, so I decided, you know, all these oversized premiums, I was just going to take advantage and get all these that I have in this raw grades and get them sent in. This one's one of the better ones that I've got. I really think, you know, 3, maybe a 4, but we'll see how it goes. You know, certainly 3's plenty solid for a card like this. This one here features Wes and Hall of Famer Rick Ferrell, 2 brothers for the Boston Red Sox. This one, once again, has got some faint pencil writing here on the back, you can see. So that's going to hit it with that mark qualifier. Corners are not good at all, so I'd say probably the 2 with the mark qualifier. And then this one here, this is Leon Goose Goslin, and this one, it's going to come back with miscut probably because don't have any border here on the bottom, so I'm gonna guess that that's probably gonna get hit with the miscut qualifier, and it's got some staining, so definitely in that 1 poor grade area. And this one here, Freddy Lindstrom, another Hall of Famer and this one is actually from the 1936 wide pin set. And see, these here are from National Chicall. They had their fine pins where you can see the faux signature. It's a little bit thinner style of font. And Gabby, they had their what is now called a wide pin. It's because of that thicker font. So then this one, Freddy Lindstrom, got pencil mark writing here on the back, so that's gonna knock her down a little bit. But 2 certainly 2 or better, but with that mark qualifier, it's almost like it's a 1 again. So, and this one, Chuck Klein, another Hall of Famer for the Chicago Cubs. And this one's got some back damage from being taken out of his scrapbook as well. So it's probably just a guaranteed 1 based on the back damage. And yeah, it's got some creasing that doesn't really show up here with the glare, which you can't see, but I can see it with my eyes. It's got a lot of creasing in this one that's faint. These are really thin paper, And so to find these in really sharp high grade is next to impossible. They really don't exist in super high or high grades. You find some of these that get graded in 6 or 7s is just almost unheard of. And for the most part, most of these are rough. They've got pinholes, they got folds and creases, got back damage from being in somebody's scrapbook. This one here's Hank Greenberg. This was one of the more expensive ones that I've ever had to acquire from this set. And it's got a little bit of back damage as well, so probably ends up with the poor grade. And this one here, Earl Avril. It's got a little bit of back damage or discoloration as well, but I don't know. It's like if they don't knock it for that on there, it would get probably 2 or higher, but it might end up getting a 1 with that small trace of back damage as well. This one here, another of the two brothers, Rick and Wes Ferrell. And this one, of course, is another Gowdy wide pen, and the other one I had of the two of them was a fine pen. And this one's in pretty darn good shape. I could see this one getting, I think this could get a 3. It might come back a 2 and I'll be a little disappointed, but I sure think if any of them are going to get a higher grade, that's one that's got a good chance. This one here is Rick Ferrell by himself. This one's got pinholes, so automatic poor grade there for that one. This one here is Hall of Famer Al Simmons, and it's got some faint creasing that doesn't show on the camera very well, but you kind of see it in the eye, almost just there where this paper stock is kind of wrinkled and creased a little bit here on this corner and that corner, and it's somebody's wrote on the back and then it's gotten erased with but smeared, so almost assuredly the mark qualifier there. So maybe if I'm lucky that gets a 2 with the mark qualifier, but probably a poor just with the 1. This one here, this one's in pretty darn good shape. This is Ducky Medwick, another Hall of Famer, but this one's another one that's come out of the back of somebody's scrapbook, and so you've got this discoloration from whatever was used to adhere it onto the scrapbook page, and I just don't know what they're going to do with that, if they're going to give it like a stain qualifier or what they'll do. But you know, I would say just based on the front, it's certainly worthy of a 3, but what they'll do about that back, I don't know for sure. This one here, Hall of Famer Bucky Harris. This one's got quite a bit of creasing, and back on that one was clean, but it's creased well enough that it's going to get a 1. And this one here, Bill Dickey, New York Yankees. And this one's another one that's in pretty darn solid shape, clean back, and I'm just kind of looking. I don't see really any creasing, it's just the corner. So this one right there, I'm certainly going to hold out hope for a 3, possibly even a tiny bit higher, maybe a 3.5, 4, something like that. That would be good to see on that one. And here's another one. This one, Joe Cronin. So I got a fine pen and a wide pen of him that I'm sending off. So I'll go from having no Joe Cronins and PSA graded to having 2. And this one here, I'm going to guess a 2 is possible, but good chance it could end up at 1.5, 1, somewhere in that neighborhood as well. Alright, and this one is an exhibit card. This is the exhibit salutations. This one's in pretty darn good shape. Joe Gordon, and this is the Cleveland variation. There's also one that has him in a Yankee uniform as well. And this one's really solid, and I'm gonna guess there's a good chance this one can come back a 5. Maybe I'm overly optimistic there. I guess I'll find out. Probably won't see these back. It's going on a 50 business day service, so you do the math on that. That is 10 weeks. So probably sometime April. This one here is a matchbook, and you can see some discoloration here. And really, these matchbooks, they almost always just get a 1 from PSA. You've got the staple holes, which those were installed in the factory, but they still counted as damage. But I'm gonna expect probably the 1. That's just what they get. Now this one here, this is a 1952 Redmond Tobacco card of Willie Mays. Now the bottom tab's been cut, and it's a little bit of rough shape. It has some paper loss here on the back, so maybe there's a chance this gets a numerical grade and it gets graded with the pour. I'm guessing they may just kick it back as authentic because of the tab's been removed. I'm not sure exactly what their policy will be on that, but this card is just a really cool card. This is a second year card. Now, I got this card for $20. Now, you want to try and price what a 1952 Topps card of Willie Mays, even in beat to heck and gone condition, I guarantee you it's way more than $20. And so that one there, it's one that I really like a lot. Okay, and this one, 1951 Topps Redback, Bob Feller. I didn't have any 51 Topps and PSA for my type collection, so sending this one in, even though it's got a bad crease right here in the middle, so it's probably just going to get the pour, but it's a Hall of Famer. It adds it to my registry. Willing to take it. This one here is a 1951 Larry Doby. Showed this on a pickups video not too long ago. Pretty solid shape. I think it deserves a 3. Well, we'll find out. And last here, I've got a stack of these are 1950 to 1956, the Callahan Hall of Fame set. And this is one of the sets that I am doing on PSA along with my 60 and 61 Fleer sets. And I have, obviously, this big stack of raw cards that I'll be sending all of them in. Got Jesse Burkett, Dan Brothers, Hugh Duffy, Alexander Cartwright, Mickey Cochran. This is the misspelled name variation. Henry Chadwick, Roger Bresnahan, Charles Comiskey, Cap Anson, Carl Hubble, Johnny Evers, Cy Young, Honus Wagner, George Sisler. This is another one that has a back variation, so I've just got one of those variations. And then this Tommy McCarthy, Christy Mathewson, George Wright, and Connie Mack. So this is going to knock out a huge chunk of this registry that I had in raw and get it into my PSA registry. Yeah, I don't know what on. If all of these came back 5s, I'd be ecstatic. I'm sure there's a couple of them that are probably going to get knocked down a little bit lower. Maybe there's 1 or 2 that comes back higher, but that's probably optimistic. But there it is. This is what's going off to PSA. I'm about to wrap them up in some bubble wrap and set them in the box, and they will be going off, and I won't be able to look at them for several months. So take one more last look here at 1952 Willie Mays. Such an awesome card. Alright, that's it. I will be seeing you guys again next time.